Philip in Arizona. You're on the air with Christopher Monkton. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. I was recently carefully reading the text of an Obama speech from 2012 to the United Nations. That speech is the source of his quote, "The future must not belong to those who slander the name of the Prophet of Allah." As I was reading the text, it occurred to me, and the question is, do you agree that one of the things he's really trying to do is unify the Muslim world, specifically heal the rift between Shia and Sunni?
Sure, is that for Monkton or me? Because I'll just say, I never believed this, but it's true now. Obama is trying to create some weird Sunni caliphate, and it's just totally insane. I can't believe the elite would allow this. Lord Monkton?
I think that is a very shrewd remark. Obama has talked of my Muslim faith, and I was very suspicious of the whole Reverend Wright affair. I thought that the main purpose of that affair was to make it look as though Obama was a Christian worshipper, when we all know perfectly well that he's a Muslim. So I think that what's happened there is that he is indeed using his office, or abusing his office, to advance the Muslims, and he's coming dangerously close to advancing the cause of the terrorists too. And I think I think he'll be quite lucky not to be impeached. I know that Donald Trump is saying, look, we won't impeach him.
I agree, Lord Monkton, but it's hard for me to even believe, though it's happening, that he's worth Turkey, shipping the oil, protecting ISIS. I can't believe our elite would allow a president to openly back al-Qaeda, but he's doing it. I mean, I can't even believe this. I'm the big conspiracy theorist, and I cannot compute, like Robbie the Robot, I have smoke coming out of my gears. This is insane.
It is insane, and the insanity is that so silent is the establishment in the face of this outrageous attempt by Obama to align himself with the terrorists by refusing point blank time and time again ever to use the name of Islam in connection with the name of terrorist, when 98% of all terrorist acts over the last 25 years perpetrated worldwide have been perpetrated in the name of Allah, and he won't say this. And he won't say to the Muslim world, our Muslim friends, our Muslim brothers, they are our brothers too. We should not hate every Muslim. Of course
I agree. I don't hate Muslims, but my God,
they preserved civilization for us from the 9th to the 12th centuries, when we were messing around in the Dark Ages. And they were the leading lights of civilization. They preserved the great classical texts that I studied at Cambridge of Greece and Rome, when we had no interest in them. They kept all that for us. These are people to whom we should look up.
So how have they degenerated? Because you're right, they've been a leading light.
That way. And what we should be doing as world leaders is trying to lead Islam back to the era of scholarship and learning rather than of the sword.
And book
burning. We need to get away from the sword verses and get back to the learning for which Islam was once renowned worldwide. And Obama, in that degree, has absolutely nothing to offer us. He will prove to have been one of the most damaging and otherwise irrelevant presidents.
Well, that's my question. Why would the elite back radical, book-burning, woman-enslaving Islam when there's so many great forms of it, as you historically point out? Go ahead, Lord Monkton. Thank you, Philip.
The reason is very, very straightforward, and that is that the Islam in its present manifestation is totalitarian. The left are totalitarian, and the communists, the fascists were totalitarian. This is the age-old battle that the Chinese philosophers meditated upon. I've said this before.
Confucius.
Chinese philosophers always said the division was between the totalitarians on one side and the libertarians on the other. You and I, Alex, are libertarians. The Islam and the world's left are now united in a totalitarian desire to push the rest of us around. And that's what this is about. It's not just that Obama talks of his Muslim faith. It is that he is ideologically a totalitarian. He recognizes that Islam in its present form is also ideologically totalitarian.
Brain Force is here. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on this the last few months. You probably noticed I've been more crazed, more focused, less brain fog, more energy, more special reports, and it's because of Brain Force.
One of the worst things with most energy products is it's not sustainable, right? You're gonna crash, you're gonna feel really bad afterwards. This has a bunch of different antioxidants and compounds and polyphenols.
Everybody's on these drugs to knock their brain out because the brain's so fried.
We kept changing this formula over and over and over again until it became sort of a grand puzzle. For example, the L-theanine inside of it, that is activated by the different compounds in the yerba mate that we put inside of it as well. This just increases the compounds you already have.
This is what you're actually designed to run on.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a car will run on one form of junkie gas, but it runs really good on what it's designed for. You will find Brain Force, Survival Shield X2, and other game-changing products at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.